if I... Oh, I mean, seems like I'm the only one red. I don't know. But they...
Be careful who you
Of course. Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sin. No. What a...
I saw you slide down that rope and... Oh, of course! Anyway... Well, I've been trying to get this rare flower from the rock spire in the middle of the lake. It's too steep to climb, so I hung a rope over the lake and made this pulley device, only I, couldn't quite summon the nerve to use it. Do you think you could use the device again? And... Oh, thank you. It would help me a lot. There's no rush, just... All right.
Hello? Hello? Dol? My friend Hannibal used to look after. He said he gave all I remember. Now nobody looks after me. Hannibal said Galerius already tried that. Like, if you... Hannibal said it was... Bye-bye.
All right. One night a few months ago, I wasn't allowed out. So once everyone else was asleep, and that's when I saw her. I just sat there on the roof, and then she looked up and saw me, and from the moment she asked my name with this, and so for weeks on end, we'd hold hands and talk about all. And then one morning I woke up and everyone was, all I could do was keep my head down. All I know is she loved me. And if she had known a way out, she'd never have taken her own life. And there's no way I can't prove it, but I just know she's still alive. Somebody abducted her. My guess? Malia. I have no idea where he'd be keeping her. I've never seen the inside of it. But I have a feeling that if you could get in there... Really? I feel like I've looked everywhere. First, the palace. If Navia managed to get in, then... Oh, the only other place she could be is somewhere in this... I remember hearing that Dooley had been... You mean where am I from and all that? But when I was a child, I moved to Rome with my family, Romanized my name and spent That's where I was when the fires broke out. Everyone was running. Every road leading out of Rome was in chaos. Full of... Several hours down the Appian Way, I saw another Jewish... I can only assume they got the better of me because the next thing I knew... It's strange though, because I still had my purse on me. A lot of good it did me. And that family. I don't. But... Well, neither of us have a couple of hours to stand around. You remind me of an old story. Obliging, he replied, "What is hateful to you, do not do to another." That is, of course. What I want to know is... What kind of a Thanks. Sentius, I suppose. All right, friend.
Salve again, my... No. Brilliant! You did it! This is going to make her so happy. Equitia, I mean. What I really want to do is walk up to her, give her the flower, and confess. But on the other hand, I can't shake the fear. You mean, aside... You see, Equitia is a Vestal priestess, meaning she's taken a vow of chastity. Even if she was just suspected of being unchaste, it could lead to her... At the same time, she's just so... kind and... I don't know what to do. What do you think? Now that I hear you say that out loud, I hear how crazy it is. What I need is a go-between. Someone who... What do you say? Wonderful! Now, all I need you to do is give her the flower and tell her it's from a secret admirer. Tell her... Thank you.
A new face, Ave, and may Oh my. I suppose it's... Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priest. The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance, and then you would. But to be honest, I've often thought what an. Let's do it your way. You just. You really don't know? I am one of the priestesses, charged with keeping the sacred. Vesta is the mother goddess of hearth and home, and the guardian of the Roman people. You know, I'm not entirely sure. Karen, you say? And older. I apologize. I don't mean to be. Have you? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they. I know. I just don't. Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive. She was always so chatty, always and then she withdrew, stopped working, and became despondent. But she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill, but there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else. I just. You have? Then what is it? Yes, I suppose that could be something. What else? Yes, I am. What else? That's true. I know I wasn't in. It's as I feared. You mentioned earlier, you met. I see. Because I've seen her before. But don't follow too closely.
Hello?
All right, you're here. You are up here. Look down at the bottom. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means. I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can. Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river, but that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. Each of them is slightly different. Whether the storyteller was Plato, but they always involved the souls of the dead, meeting a grim ferryman. It was said that he'd helped the new arrival cross. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved one. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks. That was my first thought too, in the old story. But it was also possible for the living to read. To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described. You say you saw and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram head, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing it. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name, I suspect, the only way you'll solve this. No. I mean, I had my suspicion. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it. If we don't want to be cast into gold, we don't have much to go on, except the old story. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter, Orpheus, a Thracian poet, Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have two options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide. It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, and even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the... All Romans try to avoid saying it, and you may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own... Shh! Is everyone so blunt? That option would be the boldest, but also the... As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Are you telling me that I won't pretend to understand. So, if you... Who knows? But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and the problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even... I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, if you could recover and repeat... It's the towering stone monument. You'll find them all over Rome. But, however, this one is unusual. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques. Roman... I don't know. But perhaps Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him. I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. As I mentioned, both Orpheus and the problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic... First, Proserpina. What we do, it's said, the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her. If the stories are true, the problem is, how do we communicate? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those. Truly? Then again, I suppose... Can you tell me more? Fascinating. Perhaps she's a... If she has indeed been abducted, tell me. Has she... Oh, I see. All right. I would suggest not discussing. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible... In any case, time may for... Vega. I don't... I'm quite sure. We asked for but I find myself reminded. Would you like... I suppose so. Jupiter and Mercury put a town to the test. By disguising themselves, everyone turned them away and failed that test. Except for... And then, why... Some say the moral of that story is that... But I like to think it's that we should all... I'm pleased... Sir. May for... Oh, how lovely. I see. Of course That man is a one... But he is the least subtle secret admirer. Plus, he's been trying for weeks to get his hands on this flower. He'd just stand there each... Tell that adorable oaf that my Vestal's vow of chastity ends once I turn 36. So if then... I hope so. See you again soon.
Greetings and salutations. Greetings. I'm Georgie. My friend, you're... And in a city full of Romans, you are asking me? My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do this all the time. I am flattered that at first... But my point is this. If the plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek... he cannot help it. And besides... This is troubling, is it not? But my young friend Fabia confided in me that she saw someone leaving graffiti on his shop front last night. I hope...
Isn't the great temple majestic?
Hello? Do you like it? But... if I gave it... But... well... Galerius already... Like... Yeah, Galerius will let me out. Then you can have... Bye-bye.
just as the ocean but it does. The bloodless shadows wander, some the house of the ruler of the depths. There is only a downward path. They never... The bloodless shadow... Help me. You cannot. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Say it. Then it... I thought I saw it, but when the rest of... I had to tell myself it was... I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. He gives such an uncanny description. I will do my best to remember that there is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, and still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Don't you just
Keep an eye
love
out for Sentinel,
springtime?
would you?
No idea. Yes, so what? And why should I? There is only one true God. I am doing that. If I was about... I don't like... I have no idea. I have nothing to say to you.
Vote for Malleolus for a free drink
What is
at
it,
my
citizen?
tavern.
Not that it's any of your business. Unfortunately, see, Domitius has been going around. The man's Sentius knows about this place. I appreciate the thought. But you're new here. And I just can't... In any case, if you're in... All right?
Ah, you're here. And, I hope I'm... There's a light. Ugh, come... Let's just forget that. Ugh, let it go. Nothing's going to happen between us. You know, normally, I'd... Straight to business, huh? As a matter of fact, I'm happy to tell you all about it. So, how... I think of it this way. I have something of... Simple. It's a one-way trip, and well, I can't tell you too much. Ha! It's hardly my fault if people misunderstand the terms of it. I just try not to think about it. Drink help. Certainly. Have you met Livia? She used to do my hair until now she just stands around. I hear that if Malleolus is elected, he's gonna throw... There used to be a midwife here, Naevia, but this fortunately for us. Scintilla, how can we trust him to... I heard Dacius has been... Have you seen the way Rufus... But then, why... Whatever you... Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him, he was sitting at a table with Georgius, whispering about some job. I remember because they kept looking over their shoulders. The one word I kept hearing was vanishing. And then, the next day, Kabash just disappeared. All right.
Don't you just love springtime? Salve again? No. Thanks. Venus, that is the best news I've ever heard in my life. I wish there was something I could do to... All I can do is tell you where there's a secret stash of coins you might be... In the rock tunnel, near the stairs, there's a little doorway set into the rock. Inside, if you look carefully, you can see a chest. Unfortunately, one of those golden huntress statues is blocking the path. If you can figure out how to get past... Well, I'm a farmer. Always have been. One day, when I was about 20, my father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. Sprinted. But by the time I got back, my mother died of a broken heart soon after. And things went downhill from... More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing. Our store. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open, but there were more of them. I never saw how many. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived... I spent a few years working for my new master. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me. And I'd just end up right back. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, everybody was running down toward the river, screaming. I got swept up with them. Next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. That's what I thought too. See, I finally had my own farm, until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the gold. So, it turns out our dear old Majesty. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting. And he'll get it. Thanks, friend. Anyway. Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest... But Scintilla, Sentius' daughter, went missing a few weeks back. If anyone knows for sure... Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know? I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. I've bounced the idea around once, but from what I hear, Malleolus has the... And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean... And how could you... Oh, wait. Well, in that case, we need to... If you can do that, and Sentius is the... All right, friend.
Oh,
hello there, partner. You see, my plan was to give you a little fright. You know, like two friends joking around at this. But when I opened it... Partner, I swear, this is just a misunderstanding. Look, why don't you keep on... Fine, fine. Very well.
Don't you just love springtime?
I have nothing to...
Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
Still no sign of Scintilla. And I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Don't be too hard on yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, but I keep thinking, what if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods. Try to relax, get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
I suppose you're right.
Horatius, looking a bit troubled there.
I love
Still
your
no sign of
clothes.
Scintilla.
So
I haven't slept right in 3
exhausted.
weeks.
You stay away
Don't be
from
too
my
hard on
money.
yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Starting.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Sounds...
I swear, I searched her room top to bottom, but it's odd. It was only... You should go and speak with her. Find out if she knows anything. She lives in the villa next door.
We're finally alone. Is that... Look, it's unfortunate now. I think it's best if I hang. You mean to ask, why am I unwilling to I'm sorry, but that... Yes, our water supply. Aeneas the Tack, and I'm I'm glad to hear that. Now, was there something else? Ask then. Good. Sexton before... It's a cavalry officer. As magistrate, I usually... My men and I were at the Emporium. Now the port is usually bustling. They were trying to escape. The next thing I knew, I went looking for my horse and discovered... I was elected 7 months ago. They're supposed to be... Unfortunately, it... Very well. If I will... Ours give the... You mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question, Perhaps you're not... Look, I can see where you're going. It was not so long ago. Here we see a privilege that the man has no... I will not... Thank you. I hope you have a good reason for flouting my weapons ban.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Don't believe a word they tell you.
Shut.
Come and join me by the fire. Welcome, citizens, tell me. Ah, yes, I will tell you everything I know. The one thing I long for above all else. Let us find out with this simple question. Excellent. I see you are in. Now, will you join me in a... Wonderful. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong? You are an overthinker too. We're the same. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then down here... Well, that's reassuring. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong so we would tell lies and bend rules, but under the golden rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree? That is an excellent question, and it leads... So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing? Are you sure? Or is it possible that human... So is it up to each of us to decide what right and wrong... You know, I think you'd find an ally in her. He told the story of a man named Darius, whose curiosity was piqued when he learned that a certain tribe had the practice of eating their dead. He asked some Greeks who burnt their dead, "What would it take for you to eat your dead?" Aghast, they replied, "Nothing." Then he asked the tribe who ate their dead, "What would it take for you to burn your dead?" "Nothing," they replied, equally aghast. From this, Herodotus concluded that custom is king, that right and wrong are merely local ideas which do not survive the journey from one tribe to another. I take it you're in agreement? Then let me ask you this. If you visited a tribe where would you still maintain that within such a tribe, disturbing. And while I do not agree with you, my point is this. I don't think anyone alive... If there is one thing I have observed about rules, It is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations. And the sad truth, in mathematics, we would call it an asymptote. Because the only way to create a utopia, this and no other, is the root from which, and life under tyranny. I'm glad to. In any case. You mean, how did I end up? I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, back then I used to enjoy. It became heated. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. I settled in, made friends, and learned. So I began looking for. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us. They are one and the same. The Romans call him Pluto. My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same fate by hiding down here. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the... I fear that if you were to utter my name and... I'm afraid I am the only one left, some from malnutrition. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Quebec, living in darkness is not without its challenges. And sometimes, when there are, the greater challenge is the isolation. Like so many things in... As you... Did we not discuss it at length, or... You seek the plug. It is a cursed object, and I would be happy... I will tell you, but you may find him... Very few know this. When the Romans, thus the shrine of Persephone, and when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, and the city's dwindling, they gathered their art and However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place, an even older plaque bearing an We had no idea until, as a result of their deaths, we extended the tunnel so suddenly it made sense, you see. But it turns out this... I think it is best... There are certain things... Take this key. I enjoyed our chat.
Stop! Do not come any... I am Kabash. And let me guess. Another Greco-Roman. Trouser. That is... I was planning to return. Here, take it. Now, as for... Indeed, I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children. You may not. In fact, I am... Because it speaks it... I will tell you, but first... Indeed, and I see you know our... See what has become of it. I have been down here for as Egypt declined, and the Greeks had their turn to when they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris. Even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti, they renamed to Keron, as if that desecration was not enough. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to... It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it would imply the gods of Egypt, and that my people did to them what the Greeks and... I sense a deception. You must think this work of sacrilege... You are too late. It is done. You would plunge into the... If it... I am... This... I think do... As for the... I do not know. What... All I know is everyone so... Good way. You... When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not that. You will. I disagree. I warned you against coming down here. You have undermined and dishonored the... Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, why should I... Why? To what end? But why? What business could you have with Osiris? Blasphemous fool! You have... Good. I welcome it. You see, the philosophy... I can only hope...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
I'll go.
No. I did hear from Ulpius that she did, but I'd been locked in Malleolus's villa for months before she went. If that's your...
Welcome.
Let me guess. You know? Well, you don't understand. It's too. If I backed out now. Oh, but we're still in. Yulia and I. Oh, I'm out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! Well, I'll have.
That is... Right. May for...
No idea. No idea. Yeah. And well, I wouldn't get so angry if he wasn't so. None of your business, Nobody is supposed to know. God, again, you want to help me?
Welcome. Feeling all right? That's a shame. How did you... Do you really want... Gladly. Oh no, there was... But that... Where... Until she suddenly lost all interest. This changes everything. The last time I saw her... And then she's been gone... But I really wish I could reach her. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. He's become so irritated. I just know... Really? That would be wonderful. A golden bow. Just like feeling all right? Oh, I see. Willowbark. I should have known. I have some right here. Could you... Thank you. That's a shame.
What about Willowbark? Finally, some relief. I've been in a... It was too much. I... No idea. It's the rheumatism. It's... I know that's not... And I know I'll leave him alone from now on. I'm going to go and... I did hear a rumor that Aurel can't talk families from... Fine. No. I mean, all... See... I... See you...
What demon? You went snooping and have you... Really? Poor fellow. Really? Nice to talk to you.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff. Hello? Are you well, stranger? Have you... You mean, how did I end up here? Very well.
Hello? Hello? Do you like it? But, like, yeah. Bye-bye.
Salve.
What is it, citizen? What business is that of... A lot of people have been looking for her. Scintilla was always a cult. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Sentia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. You might fare better though, I suppose. Fine. All right.
Greetings and salute. Nothing. I hope.
No. See you.
Salve. But... Well... Nice to talk.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his three.
But I know Galerius well, and his position has always been that he won't run unless Malleolus... It was only yesterday that he said to me he'd own... So, I suppose if you'd like to see Galerius... Certainly. See you again.
On your best behavior, I trust?
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above? That was either extremely well... Of course not. But as I always... Look, if you're trying to find her, you may wish to check the cisterns beneath this villa. Of course, just... Look, if I had... My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgin. You mean my heterochromia? And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. Alexander the Great. I like to think it is. Well, I am not so. Unlikely, because it's simply... Are you... Why would I with... You fool.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
I'll go.
The dainty little thing from next. Well, Domitius! An intrigue. Perhaps you're not as... You know, some time ago, when he still cared for me, Now, addressing one's wife by the wrong name is not unheard of among philandering Romans. But I confronted him about it. I let it go, but... Oh, aren't you charming? It seems our interests are aligned. But first, I want you to bring... Oh, don't look at me. Let me tell you something about Malleolus. After all I've done for... He said it was for my own good, and that my drinking was tonight at his I am so looking forward to it. You mean, aside from the fact that I'm... Because there's barely any... So... Thank you. Now, perhaps you can tell me who Quink... What? He's... Oh no. That's... Give me that immediately. What? No. It was a lie of a mission. You were I curse you. This is outrageous.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty... I trust... I... So... so much. Fine. I'll have Domitius notify the priestess of my withdrawal. There. You got what you wanted. Now...
Don't believe a word they tell you.
I mostly just... I suppose my pirate I spent in the after. I suppose anyway. What good pay my friend? Well, I'm just...
Julia! I'm so glad you didn't go through with it.
And I'm sure he'll be just... All right.
We're free. Malleolus just released us and we never have to set foot in that villa again. Galerius arranged it somehow.
Shiny.
Incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything.
You are... Do you know you're here? I'm Centilla. I found a way out through the Gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he wants to keep us all here forever. Or until we're turned to gold. Sentius, my adoptive father. Fury's help. I don't know. He said the gods are on his side because they don't want us to escape. Behind me, there's an aqueduct tunnel bringing water. The only problem is it's barred by a heavy lock. I'm going to take that key from around. I'm done caring about the Golden Rule. There won't be enough time. There's no time. What? No. I hate you. You're back. Oh, thank you. He's here. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
What did you do with Centilla? Where is she? So that is how it's going. It's a shame, Rit. You'd have been looping through time forever until you gave up and killed yourself. Come now. Shh. You see, my connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories. But I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. He was a moralistic fellow. And because of that fatal, I watched him come through the portal each time. Always a little older, and when he finally saw the futility of it all, the next time I awoke, you showed up. But you've caught up to where he was so quickly. I'd have preferred if you'd given me more time to enjoy the trappings of my success. Just the 8, not a lot, compared with that. In any case, there's no escape. Better to end it all now. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it? Why? Isn't it obvious? because I have grown attached to all this, and as long as this day keeps I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely, to cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself? Of course. There's no way you could have succeeded. Every soul who has ever found themselves here has broken the golden rule eventually. Man will always sin sooner or later. Any idiot could tell you this. But where others might see as I told you the first time we met, by reliving the same day over and over again, forever. And I will continue living long after your dust. Do you really think you could take on a Decurion with that Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Well, here I am. Really? I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor. It said the attack caused Golden's apparently the only person to survive. I didn't for one moment think it was, but the way you say that makes me... I don't understand. I'm sorry, come again? Let me see that. God, why does... I've spent a lifetime in this... This is... So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal. I guess you saved my life then. Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct. I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple. You go on ahead.
You're back! But... why don't you tell...
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions. You can just call me Charon. I do not enjoy deceiving people. That most people find comfort. That you died, of course. You were dead when my role as the servant. Most souls would ask yourself honestly. As you wish. You were murdered. You were exploring an old tomb when you discovered a cache of forgotten relics, including 2 silver coins of ancient origin. Unfortunately, as you emerged into daylight, you were set upon by 2 thieves. A nearby hiker saw the scuffle break out and leapt to your aid, trying to help you recover your bounty. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have done. He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name was Al Worth. You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Kaelun's Opal by some, and so it was my duty to bring you here. Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans bearing their dead with a coin in their mouths, to pay the ferryman for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins and had me distribute them across the world. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession, that is a question you would have to. I am just his only now. I find myself, there is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody. I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so...
Kinda lost track of time in there. And there was a tablet describing it. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of, well, my new friend here. I know how...
Maybe not that crazy.
How could you...
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I think she... Here.
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but I want you to know that I will never forget you, or what you did for me. It pains me that so many dear friends were not so fortunate. Ulpius, Sentia, Lucretia, Horatius, Galerius, poor Dooley, and the others. But please understand, their blood is on my hands, not yours. I will live with the consequences of my actions, and all I...
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first... You two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Me? You know, you Al. Come now. You see, but I'm surprised he was a moral, and because of I watched, and when the next, I mean, now, well, and yet, because there's no escape, except the path. So you why? And as long as I have found him, and why would I? You understand? You might want to think. The only way, and if I die, you see, that means if what are you going to do? Now, get up. Don't be so foolish. If I die, you see, it was my actions that brought that means. Now, get out.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Death arrives. It would be a thing to drag me.
Oh. Hi there. Well, funny. I was just describing, and it's apparently, as the citizens screamed and died in pain. I didn't for one moment think it was. I don't. God. So you're. I to let me. I can't. Seems. How can you say you murdered a man in cold blood? And now there's a city. I guess all those old Latin. Pro peccata unius. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
What? That's a big... What? I'll go...
Shouted. Oh, I wish. Oh. Oh, really? I can see why she would. Oh. Thank you. Huh. Oh. Oh no, the question. A skeleton. What do you. But didn't Domitius say. What are you saying? That somebody crept down there and put Scintilla... Why would anyone... But who? Who? That is an extremely serious... So this... I've heard enough. Kindly keep your You...
How did you know? Wait, did you hear that? Please, you distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she? So that is... It's a... You'd have been... Come, you see, but he was a moral... And because of that fatal flaw, he relived this day many thousands of times. I watched it, and when I'd have just not been better. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it? Do you really? Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
We have to go. The other should be right behind us. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Hi there. Well, really? I could just freed. It's apparently Scintilla and a handful of other citizens managed to escape. What? God, what? So you're saying, like, maybe. I'm gonna pause. You...
You're back. Really? Ow!
Kinda lost track of time in there. and there was a tablet describing an event. Supposedly, the city, my new friend here. I know.
Maybe.
How could you?
She left a tablet up, I think, here.
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but Octavia, Lucretia, Horatius, Equitia, and I will never forget you, or what you did for us. It pains us that so many of our dear friends were not so fortunate, including Ulpius and Galerius, who heroically tried to rescue Dooley.
Sounds like you meant a lot. You
Sounds good to me.
And you?
Not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
Lucretia, no time to explain. I'm supposed to give you the Sylphian resin for Yulia.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
I was just doing what the new guy told me.
Hello?
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff.
There's no need for that. I just wanted to give you this willow bark to help you treat it.
A treatment? Really? Thank God. Finally, some relief after all this time. Thank you, Galerius. You're a good man. And I'll be sure to leave Virgil alone. I know I haven't been at my best lately.
Appreciate that. Now, I've got to run.
What now?
I have a message from Malleolus.
Yeah? Who's it from?
The Emperor. He knows Malleolus's real name is Quinctius, thanks to Claudia, and demands he withdraw from the election and release Ulpius and Iulia immediately.
Are you out of your mind, farm boy?
Domitius, that's enough.
What? You're not going to listen to this dolt, are you?
Galerius, all right, I'll withdraw, and Ulpius and Julia are free. I trust our business is concluded?
Yes, that ought to do it. I guess I'll go and tell Ulpius the good news then.
Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's election. Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default.
Actually, I'd like to nominate myself, if that's all right.
Of course, Galerius, that's your right. Citizens, the election will proceed.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know... your sister... Oh. Oh. Now, I'm going... Oh, and if our conversation... And... Oh! Anyway... Well, I've been trying to get this... I've bounced, but... He did? I'll let... Alright. Alright.
See you again. Ave. It must... It...
Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
Time to go to the theater.
Body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helva. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. Start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius.
Sentius.
Virgil.
The man who put a stop to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
Ulpius.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius.
The man who treated my rheumatism. Galerius.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helva.
What?
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
Fortune smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your release.
You're going to let me out?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius. I'm so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georges I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Hello? Oh, thank you. You can have my friend Hannah, but before that, he gave me a key to the cisterns. Please help me find it. Oh, thank you. Hope I find it. In the cisterns. Oh, look over there.
Maybe it is treasure. I can see it from up so pretty. And it's just lying out here in the open. Maybe nobody wants it anymore. Maybe no one will mind if I just...
Let Galerius.
Finish the job.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Stop this madness.
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Cimmerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so gracefully. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will. My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey. My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords: desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive. This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Your gaze lingers too long. That is my servant. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the... Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. No. Long ago I swore to Persephone. As you... It has come to be known simply. That is a long story. You see, long ago, we discovered your planet. You all but... Yet Proserpina saw raw potential. So we revealed ourselves to you. For a time, you flourished. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion. And soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance. This time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. And so she began her inescapable trajectory. Horrified, I acted swiftly. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father. It was and is my home, that once there, but he refused. I did everything I could to persuade. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium. But seeing that I was aggrieved, if even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting. There were also gods who, like me, our leader Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, and of course, my beloved. As the first wave of your kind arrived, I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, of course believing themselves to be the superior civilization. After another 1,000 years, they built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their... To ensure the wage was fair, it was important To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 whoever died while in possession of one of them. As the tokens were discovered, later when they spread to Greece, they would come to me. Some placed coins in the mouths of... In fact, almost all of your kind will have squandered the last of it. It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was to be rid of him. I returned him to his people. But the erasure did not take completely. His tales were committed to write. Later the Egyptians, their Book of the Dead. Then when the Greeks began to, a warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, they each told embellished tales, and so from Sumer to Egypt. Of course, that is merely the name your people. That is a story dating back to the very first wave. Now this man was unmarried, and many women, all the women too were particularly vicious. Their hair woven in ill, draped herself in... Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion. She checked that nobody was watching, pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all, to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, as silent golden sentinels. I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it. I give your... When my kin departed, they left behind many relics. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, as my collection of golden statues grew, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at night. I've always considered no attempt to lay out rules like yours. This should come as no surprise. The Egyptians made a rudimentary. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often. It is the simplest of concepts, yet none of the people. For you, I'm able to commune with... If she was still then what an odd question. Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations, or are you going to give me an example? I've seen no such thing, but in any case, taking one's own life is a self-direct. Therefore... Now tell me, the merchant, how is that inconsistent with the... I disagree. Applying this rule always... Not if we're wise enough. Supposing you're right, then my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want? Then your desire to be right out, you will make... Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with... How dare you threaten her? The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Been this time, Mons. Impossible. No. I do not believe you. Enough of this. Why have you come? If you anger me, or so, tell me. How so? And be specific. I admit, I have no... His cruelty... He is a volatile... True. But if I were to accept that, are you telling me these humans could... You are either deluded, you will... The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. And here, allow me to introduce myself. Nergal to the but the one... I would reckon... You fuck... You have put me in an... If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery and savagery have opened my eyes, and now you have shown me your species' true colors. This has gone on too long. It's time for me to let go. But know this. If I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the other. Enough, foul creature. This is not something... Once this exodus begins, what will become of you is now. You had best pray our paths never cross again.
Oh. Well. Oh, did that? I'm fortunate. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something. They believe that if even one person sinned, then, one day, just as Galerius, an oracle appeared and told him how to saving the life of foiling an assassination attempt, and so on. Meanwhile, the oracle and the doors just nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote because the next thing he knew, the ground. Unfortunately, Galerius's account just sort of. What became of him? And did this mysterious oracle I don't know, it reads like an earnest account to me. Anyway, I think you go on it.
You're back! But you're alone. Why do...
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions. You can... I do not enjoy that most people find that you died. Most ask... As you were exploring an old tomb. Unfortunately, a nearby hiker saw this. You both fought bravely. There was nothing He died instantly at the scene. That man's name. You were each in possession of a... It means there is nobody else to... Perhaps you have heard the tale. Well, along my order. It means there is... I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now.
And there was a Sounds good.
And you?
Hey, you made it. I read your book, and what the critics... After everything you've been through, so after we got back to the real world, I started doing some... I'm sorry I've been... Why don't you head on...
You're finally here. Remember me? It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Charon appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she would... Anyway, I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second... I know! I can't believe my luck either. We're planning to get married next spring. Oh, I used Charon's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too. It's hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Of course, there's...
Oh, hello.
You're here. It's lovely to find... So, you're the hero. I'm just... Galerius and I are engaged. It feels we're just so... Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. See you at...
Hello. I'm Dooley.
Galerius said your treasure? Oh. I live it. Bye-bye.
You're the Oracle, right? Oh, of course. And I'm living it. Eventually, I want to try. Did you know? And you can try. Oh, sorry. I have. Ugh. Someone told me she was boasting about getting her claws in, even in Yort. Apparently, he'd proposed Nigeria. Well, you. As for Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling. I couldn't agree. You too. I hope so.
You are here. Luz, if the world knew we died. Speaking of which, I wanted to say, I'm studying to get into medical school. When it ended, You too.
Hey.
Hi there, I'm Horatius. I understand we have you to... He's not my... Oh, he had more... He got himself disqualified from the UFC. So I suppose it appealed to people's... But his luck finally ran... Ah, you remembered that. In the words of Epictetus, remind yourself. Thanks. I'm living up north and studying in the military. The world's changed a lot. But some things still. The ones who... And you...
I take it you're... Actually, I'm not sure if you heard. She knew right away what none of us had... But he's been dealt with. He's still there. Eternal torment. Anything... Of course, I'm mostly... You too.
Greetings. I am told... I am reacquainting my... Perhaps I hope... You...
You're... the... I wanted to say thanks for sending a letter. Well, most... Thank you.
I take it you're the Oracle everybody. We have. I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And it seems I have... I'm working... Not that I need them. My sincere...
I'm living in Rome again. After you... I just want to... And you... Wonderful.
Good evening. Greetings. Thank you for your kind words and... I'm already... Men have called me mad. I'm... Andy...
Some soiree, innit? Oh, hello at last. You must be the Oracle. Listen, I wanted... Whatever you did in that temple made me a very well... Most... I took the money I made from selling my trinkets. In fact, I can't decide... Oh, don't... Oh, of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing. Of course.
It... You... Oh, I too would like... For that, instead, I have decided to... I spent this... Thank you. Thank you.
Hello there. Oh, I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and... I'm living with Ulpius on a little vineyard. I'm so grateful. You can Thank.
It's nice to finally put... I understand. I'm living with Gabriella. Every day so we're living, sitting, and I... Thank you. You too.
Nice to meet you. I go by Ruf for telling. I probably... Although... Sorry. Huh. You
I wanted to thank and for helping Rufus come to terms with himself. I'm studying to be an architect again and living with Rufus in our beautiful flat in Rotterdam. Of course, it's improved. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are. You too, if you ever in...
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, there's one more...
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the... I wanted to meet you in person. I hate to think what would have happened. Indeed. I was able to control their tongues. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. So I tried to give them a way to buy... I don't know what happened to him. Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine. And you. Oh, and one last thing. Good, because they remember you. Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.